Yeah, Ron, like, issues the challenge, sorry, Rika issues the challenge, not Remon specifically.
Rennemon's just in it for the experience.
Yeah, it's like, oh wow, like, how are we gonna deal with this, like, situation? Like, what's this fight gonna be like? What's it gonna go down? And then it goes down.
Yeah, and Guillemon is not listening to Takato.
So, like,
because,
yeah.
As I was gonna say, when Guillemon gets into a fight, he kinda goes a little more animalistic. And he just wants to fight.
Sorry, this is the wrong picture. Crap.
Yeah,
this is fight 2, not fight 1. What am I doing?
Yeah, that's from the scene where Guillemon takes a diamond storm and doesn't care about it.
Alright, here's the fight I wanted. There we go. But yeah, like, Remon just starts fighting Guillemon, and it just ends with them on the ground, like, just clawing at each other. It's like, Remon's trying to claw his eyes out, and Guillemon's, like, biting her arm.
Yeah, note the eyes.
Yeah, he just goes nuts on her.
Yeah.
And, like, Takao's just freaking, he's like, no, I don't want to fight, like, stop it, Guillemon. And he's like, his words can't really reach him because he's just in full on, like, it's like, oh yeah, this is like, it's a challenge. I gotta defend myself. He just goes into full on, like, frenzy mode.
Yeah. And then Rika uses a card, and I was gonna say our first instance of the card slash theme, but I don't think it was. I think we hear card slash earlier when she's fighting Fugamon.
Yeah.
Card slash is a great theme. I love it.
So yeah, like, first they're like, do a thing, and like, Takao's like, no, why are you trying to fight us? And Rika's like, are you stupid? They're Digimon. They're created to fight.
Yeah. Yeah, Rika's like, if they're not fighting, what's the point?
Yeah. Because Takao's like, no, but this is pointless. She's like, yeah, there is no point. Like, I want to feature Digimon to become stronger.
So she uses a card and gives Rennemon an arm cannon.
Yeah, if you look at it, it's actually like a PAL bunker, but it's like, it's kind. Yeah.
Ah, cool.
It's like a weird like impact thing that shoots force forward. Yeah, she like slides the card through her Digivice, just gives Rennemon like a weapon basically. And she's like, okay, yeah, like if you can't control your Digimon, then I win this one. And Takao just freaks out. He's like, no, Guillemon, get away from there. He's like screaming, and like Guillemon just lets it go and backs away just in time to avoid the hit. But he does it because, like, Takao's making a lot of noise, and he's like, hey, what's wrong?
Yeah, he finally snaps him out of it, and Guillemon runs over, completely oblivious to the fact that he almost got his head blasted.
Yeah, like, I'm fairly confident if that hit, that would have been the end of Guillemon. Takao specifically says, like, no, move or they'll kill you. Yeah.
Which, I don't know what that card does. It probably actually exists in the card game. I wouldn't be surprised if that's its effect. If it's, like, use this card to destroy an opponent's Digimon or something.
Yeah, I'd believe it's like an attack boost or something, and he's like, oh geez, that's a big bonus.
Let's see. See if I can find it.
If you want to look it up, it's called Heavy Metal.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, before a fight can continue, Henry just shows up. And he's like, hey, why are you, like, attacking Guillemon? And he's like, come on, don't be like that.
Okay, I'm wondering if heavy metal only exists in anime. Because I found
might.
Because I found it, and the effect just says adds a pile bunker to Rennemon's arm.
Yeah, I'd believe it.
Yeah, it seems like heavy metal is just from the show.
Yeah, so they like, things kind of settle down and Rika just sort of like, walks off and like, you see Ramon's tail just sort of disappear as she like goes behind a corner, like she's fading away. Because Ramon's effing sneaky. It's that nat 20 stealth she keeps getting. Yeah, so Henry just very quickly finds a place for him to store Guilmon. Just this weird effing bunker or something.
Yeah, not sure what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's just sort of there. It's just sort of whatever. It's like, alright, point is, Guilmon has a place to stay that's like not just some dingy alleyway where someone can like stumble across him.
Yeah. We're just gonna gloss over how Takato snuck a dinosaur into the park.
Yeah, so it's like, not a lot of people are just around it like that time day or whatever. It's fine. Yeah, like, gets the bunker. Yeah, you get some cute scenes of like Terrierbon just playing with Guilmon, just bouncing on his tail and stuff. Yeah,
Terrierbon keeps saying Momentai.
Yeah, and Takara's like, hey, what's that? And he's like, it means no worries. And he's like, oh, like Hakuna Matata? And he's like, no.
He says something like it means no worries, take it easy, like, just like, don't worry about it, basically.
Yeah, he's like, stay cool, no worries. And he says in like English, take it easy.
Yeah, he says like, take it easy.
Yeah, it's great, I love it. But yeah, so they just sort of like, leave Guilmon there for a night. Just sort of like, we see a bit of like Henry at his home. He's just on the computer just looking at stuff or whatever. He's like, oh hey, Terrierbon, like, make sure you don't evolve or we can't be friends. You know that, right? And Terrierbon's like, yeah, sure, I got.
So that's quite a bit more harsh than what I remember the dub being. Which I don't remember what the dub said. What he said to him in the dub, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't. If you evolve, we can't be friends.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like setting stuff up. And it like cuts to like Rika just off on like the side of the road, just doing her thing. Just walking down the street. There's some people who recognizes her as like like big name like Digimon card player that like won tournaments and stuff.
Yeah, real quick, I was curious about the term Momentai and if it was like a real word or like a made-up word.
Yeah.
Urban Dictionary says it translates literally as no problem.
Oh, alright.
It's considered in English as relax or take it easy.
Yeah, okay.
Apparently it's a real phrase. It's Cantonese.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Like, I don't know why, like... Yeah, whatever, it's fine.
Check something. What is Cantonese just like a Chinese dialect, or is that Japanese?
Oh, if it's Chinese... Alright, that would actually make a lot of sense, because, like, we do learn, like... I believe it's in this episode that it's, like...
Yeah, a form of Chinese spoken by
yeah.
people. Okay, so yeah, that explains why Takato doesn't understand what it means. It's because it's Momentai has Chinese origins.
Yeah, because we learned that, like, Henry/Lear, whatever you want to call him, has, like, he's, like, half Chinese. Like, he is a Chinese father, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, alright, yeah, there's a bit of that culture and, like, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, that makes perfect sense then, actually.
Yeah, so I was kind of confused by that at first, but now it makes sense. Of course, Takato doesn't know Chinese.
Yeah. Also, I will point out, like, it's a very weird, like, dub decision to change his name from Lee to, like, Henry.
Yeah.
Because Lee's already, like, a normal English name.
Yeah, they could have just left his name as Lee. What's up with that?
I know, it's weird. Yeah, so he, like, gets with him. It gets seen with Rika where, like, some people are like, oh yeah, watch out, she's the Digimon queen, she's like, she's that top card playing ace. Oh man, she's like, walks away just not even caring about him.
She got second place at the Digimon card game tournament.
Yeah.
I wonder who took first place.
If it was effing Takato.
Nope. You'll find out later. We find out who first place was.
Oh boy.
It's a character. It's a character you're already kind of familiar with.
Oh boy.
And who throws a weird wrench into the continuity of Tamers being in part of a different universe.
Oh. Alright.
Yeah, I think you know now, huh?
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rika has a quick scene where, like, Ramon just appears, like, in broad day, like, presumably in, like, stopped time or something. It's so weird.
I think she was still invisible to Rika, to everybody. It's just like, I don't know. It's unimportant. Rika has like a weird mental conversation with Renamon where she's like, get stronger and evolve, otherwise I don't need you.
Yeah, the specific phrase is, like, I don't need a Digimon who doesn't evolve. She's like, no, you need to get stronger already, because, like, I won't let you lose. I need to be the best. Like, she doesn't say I need to be the best, but, it's implied. Like, there's a complex there, it's like a character bit. So it's like, she does care about Roma, as we kind of saw earlier, but she's also like, she's hard on her. Like, she's very, like, pressuring.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
what happens after this?
Yeah, I think after this, we see a bit of Takato in school. Like, he learns about the whole, like, Digimon Queen thing. He's like, oh, wow, Rika's, like, actually really popular, huh? Or, like, she's really good or whatever. Then, like, yeah, she has a very, like, aggressive style because she uses her option cards. And he's like, option cards, huh? And he, like, thinks to her, like, sliding the thing through the card reader. And he's like, oh, that's what she was doing. Like, sorry, the Digivice, not the card reader.
I mean, it's basically both.
Yeah.
But he's like, oh yeah, I feel like he's probably like, oh yeah, my Digivice is a card reader thing. At this point.
Yeah, I could use that for something, maybe.
But not this episode.
Yeah. Where is the... Yeah, up about that it's like we see her do, like, the card thing, like, multiple times, and every time it looks so effing sick. It's such a cool, like, animation for, like, oh yeah, we're just gonna take the card, and you spin it around your fingers, and it's like, oh, your face is, like, half obscured in shadow, and it's like, shoo, trading card. And you're like, and now just slide the card through. It's like, gives a bit of resistance and like slides it, and you see like the data waves on the card as it like opens up. It's so like over the top. I love it.
Yeah, and like I said, Card Slash is a really cool theme, and it plays anytime they do it.
Like, this is what people think when they, like, envision Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, out of context. Like, oh, it's anime about card games. It's like, oh, cards coming. Card Slash. Oh, man. But yeah, so...
Eventually, everybody gets thrown little sequence like this.
Yeah.
Like, when the other kids start doing it.
I can't wait to see how it looks like with the others. Because, like, this is the big thing, right? Like, this is what they're doing instead of, like, evolutions for now. Or at least for now specifically.
Yeah, evolution comes up later, in this episode even. It's just, they're doing the card mechanics a lot because it's introducing a new thing.
Yeah.
And also it's shilling the card game.
Yeah, more importantly, it's like, it's a justification for like, oh hey, we don't have to like, you know, be like Ultimate or Mega or whatever right now. Cause like, yeah, we invite Digimon like, you know, champion level by like, using these cards, and it like adds a dynamic to the fight that like otherwise wouldn't be there, right?
Yeah.
Cause this is something I was like paying attention to a lot in like the older series, and like a lot of the time the like resolution of the conflict is like, okay, yeah, we just, you know, different tamer just gains a different form and that solves the problem.
Yeah. I will say we do see inventive use of the card mechanics. Like there's actually a little bit of strategy to it sometimes. Like
Nice.
In most cases, it's just like I augmented my Digimon to give them more power or speed or whatever. But
Yeah.
sometimes they'll use it to like strategize, and it's actually kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so they like, they're just kind of like going along, like, Guilmon just, yeah, first off, like, Takao goes back to the hideout, Guilmon's just dug just everywhere, he just dug just a giant hole in the wall.
Yeah, Guilmon's just kind of digging into the wall at a boredom, seemingly.
Yeah, then they go off, and he's like, oh hey, like, Guilmon's like, hey, where's a place I can go that's, like, fun? And he's like, actually, I wonder. And he just takes Guilmon out in public, and everyone's surprisingly cool with it. Because they just assume it's like a kid in a dinosaur costume.
Yeah.
Which makes
kid
no
walks
real...
up.
Yeah, it makes no real sense, but sure, why not?
Yeah, it would make more sense if there happened to be like a Digimon convention or something going on, but
Yeah, it would make more sense if Guilmon was more person-shaped.
yeah. Like a kid's like, wow, what Digimon is that? And he's like, Guilmon. And the kid's like, I've never heard of that one before. And Takato's like, I came up with it.
It's my OC Digimon. It's like we see those kids at like, you know, like Comic-Con who just show up in the Akatsuki robe wearing like effing like white wigs or whatever. They're just like, I'm my own Akatsuki member. That's basically what people think this is.
Yeah. Yeah, except Guilmon is creative and cool.
Yeah. Burn OC
But-
fan cosplayers.
Except he's still got a little bit of the kid wanting their Digimon being better than everyone. It's like, oh, it's the best, it's strongest rookie.
Yeah, it's not just the best rookie, it's the, like, it's a virus type, because all virus types are so cool. And in all fairness, they are.
Yeah, virus types are typically really cool, actually.
They're like... Yeah, Guilmon just runs off out of nowhere. He's like, hey, what's going on? You know, he just runs into, like, an underground parking lot. And it's like, oh, hey, there's Rika and Renamon ready to fight him again. Yeah, and we had this quick explanation of, like, oh, yeah, like, Digimon are drawn to each other because they're meant to fight. Like, this is their purpose.
Yeah, Guilmon kind of goes into battle mode without even being provoked.
Yeah, he just sort of goes for it, because he's like, oh hey, this person's tried to kill me. I'm gonna keep fighting them. Just no second thoughts. So yeah, fight starts. It quickly becomes apparent that, like, Renamon's kind of outmatched here.
Again, strongest rookie.
Yeah.
So I like that detail. Renamon is actually having trouble fighting Guilmon, and it's seemingly because Takato writing in that he's the strongest rookie is canon.
Yeah. Like, I remember him specifically saying, like, oh, he has the strongest offensive power or something. But, like, as you can see in this image, like, the, like, effing crystal shards are bouncing off of him.
To be fair, Renamon is at a type disadvantage.
Yeah. And also, like, as we were kind of, like, seeing before, like, Renamon's not that physically powerful. It's all, like, you know, Rika's cards and her, like, strategizing that makes Renamon strong.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, Renamon is a data type.
Yeah, I believe so.
Let me double check. Where's it?
Might be vaccine.
Attribute data.
Okay, yeah.
So not only is she Earth nature element, which is weak to fire, which is what Guillemon is, she's also data type, which is weak to virus element attribute, which is what Guillemon is.
So Guillemon's just like her natural counter.
Yeah, pretty much.
So like Rika shows up like, hey, Digimon are meant to fight, let's do this. And it's like her own philosophy's kind of like backfiring on her. Because it's like, oh, you think Digimon are meant to fight? Alright, how do you feel when your Digimon can't win?
Yeah, because like I said, this picture that we're seeing here is Guillemon taking a Diamond Storm, and he doesn't even flinch from it. Keep in mind, this attack took down a champion earlier.
To be fair, that was when Renamon was like powered up with one of the cards. Still though, yeah.
Like, Guillemon doesn't even flinch, he just keeps running at her. Also, they're like blowing up cars and stuff.
Yeah, like cars are being straight up destroyed in this battle. And it like causes, Terriermon to be in like a bit of danger and freak out. And then like
Henry shows up.
Yeah, Henry shows up and he's like, hey, what's going on? Why are there cars exploding?
Yeah, Terriermon just kind of wanders off into the line of fire, like right in front of Renamon, who's about to fire a Diamond Storm at Guillemon. And then Henry's Digivice glows and Terriermon Digivolves.
Oh no, that means they can't be friends.
And...
Sorry, I was choking on water.
Oh, it happens.
Yeah. Yeah, like, Terriermon Digivolves, he becomes upping Gargamon.
And we get the super good evolution theme.
Man. So yeah, like, I want you to notice, like, Rika's whole Digimon are meant to fight thing, that's super true. Like, you look at Gargamon, it's like it's like a Digimon that like exists with weapons for hands. This thing was born to shoot crap in like every direction it wants.
Yeah, and that's what Gargamon does. Gargamon starts indiscriminately.
Yeah, because he just doesn't give a crap, he just digivolves and he just goes wild. And he just starts blowing up cars with his arm cannons.
Yeah, so Gargamon just doesn't have control of this form, seemingly because he doesn't normally digivolve.
Yeah. Yeah, this ties into that, like, sub earlier, where it's like, you see Henry like, oh, hey, don't digivolve, and you think, oh, is it because, he's trying to protect Terriermon, and, if, like, he digivolves, he has to go out on his own, and it's like, no! It's the much more interesting scenario of, like, Gargamon is uncontrollable, like, effing destruction.
Which is it's partly Henry's fault. If he would work with Terriermon on it, they could get it under control. And they eventually do, obviously, but I mean...
Yeah.
So Henry is a pacifist to the extreme. Henry does not want to fight under any circumstance.
Yeah. So, like, this is, like, just crazy for him to deal with, I'd assume.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, you have a new form, and it destroys everything.
Yeah, so Gargamon's going absolutely nuts, shooting up everything. Renamon, like, jumps on his head, starts clawing at his eyes, which I don't think you see in the English version.
I would believe it if you didn't.
I do not remember a scene where Renamon is trying to tear out Gargamon's eyes.
But yeah, like, Gargamon just going nuts, and, like, he knocks Renamon away, and we get this effing moment.
Another
If it's the one I think it's it's another scene I don't think we see in the American version.
Which is a huge shame because this is so fascinating.
Yeah, maybe it's in the dub. I don't know because the scene doesn't make a whole lot of sense without it. But yeah, it's just Gargamon holding Rika at gunpoint.
Yeah, because he's like, oh hey, you're the problem. He's like, okay, just points the gun at her without saying a word. And like, you know, of course, like, because obviously, like, Rika's effing terrified, but she's not, like, freaked out. She's like, you know, she's staying composed and she's just slowly backing away. Like, it's
Rika's not composed. Like, she's not freaking out like crazy, but she is obviously terrified.
Yeah, she is it's like, it's the reaction I'd expect you would have if there's an effing bear right in front of you, right?
Yeah, except the bear is a gun bunny and he's about to blow you away.
Yeah. So Rika just starts like just backing away, just effing trembling. Just like, oh god, Digimon are meant for fighting and this thing is about to fight me.
Yeah. I think Guillemon tackles Gargamon to the ground.
Yeah. And
Which is, it's kind of crazy that it's not Renamon who comes to her rescue. Like, she starts to, but then Guillemon dashes in.
Yeah. Because, like, Guillemon's just right there anyways.
Yeah. The moment the situation seems to be under control, Renamon actually just leaves.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if that's, like, because Renamon technically lost or what, or if she, like, couldn't do the job or whatever. But it's like, this is just a destruction of, like, Rika's entire, like, worldview right here. Because it's like...
Not yet.
Oh boy, there's more.
There's a specific episode where Rika stops being as cold as she is now, and it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing it's like, oh yeah, like, your Digimon is not the best. Like, your Digimon is not there. Like, this random thing you wrote off can, like, do the thing your Digimon can't, and it is stronger than them.
Yeah.
Like, this rookie... Yeah, this rookie you chose to bully around is stronger than you. You are the weakest link here at the moment.
Not only that, but the Digimon of a pacifist suddenly digivolved right in front of her face and started going nuts and almost killed her.
Yeah, like, if Digimon are meant for fighting, then, like, your Digimon is not the best. You are not, like, as powerful as you think you are, basically.
Yep.
And, you know, she just, like, backs off, like, Yon saves her, and you just see her just, like, staying there, just, like, you know, breathing heavily as it just sort of sinks in, and it's like, oh god, I'm the weak one here.
Yeah, I think it's more like, oh my god, I almost died.
Yeah. Well, like, there's a lot going on, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just more of, like, you know, like, if Digimon are meant for fighting, then, like, this is not good for me. I just find that so fascinating, you know? It's like, oh, we're getting into, like, themes and, like, actual, like, ideals and stuff now, and, you know, characters are dealing with, like, you know, development and, like, interesting scenarios.
Yeah. Also, I want to point out, I had to go load up the episode real quick to check. In the dub, I believe Gargamon, while he's, like, firing at random, and it's like, oh, I can't control what I'm doing or whatever, and he's, like, talking and everything. In the original audio, he's just kind of laughing.
Yeah, he's, like, laughing maniacally.
Yeah.
Like,
Gargamon's having a grand old time blowing up cars.
Yeah, cause, like, he doesn't know, he has these arm guns, he's gonna use them for what he can. You know, it's like a great time for him, he's having a blast. Like, he's practically, like, dancing around as he's just blowing up cars. It's great. Oh, I love Gargamon. Gargamon's awesome.
Gargamon's great. It's unfortunate when his forms do later.
Like, specifically design-wise, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of Rapidmon and Mega Gargamon.
Yeah. It'd be enough. It's like, oh, it's unfortunately what his forms do later. You know, when Rapidmon murders a baby.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Man, it sure was unfortunate when, like, Rapidmon tied that woman to the train tracks and just sat back laughing. But yeah, that's basically where the episode ends. With just
Yeah,
like, oh
pretty much.
jeez, like this is getting out of hand. I assume next episode's probably gonna be like, okay, like the situation getting our control, and just, you know, kind of learning like, okay, what does this all mean for, like, you know, Rika and the others now? Like, now that, like, you've discovered you're not that powerful, like, what's the next step for someone like this, you know?
But let's be honest, it's probably fight Digimon and get stronger.
Yeah. Like, I imagine the next step would be like, okay, like, I can't absorb Gyomon Evolve, because that's the mindset she had going into this. And this guy's more powerful. So I guess the next step would be like, oh, just double down negativity. And it's like, no, like, I have to find something else to blame. It must be my Digimon's fault or something, right?
I'll be honest, I don't remember where it goes. I'm pretty sure, at least, okay, I'm pretty sure it at least goes the way of, I need to fight more and get stronger.
Yeah. Like her doubling down on her, like, ideology, I'd imagine.
Yeah, kinda.
Alright, yeah. So yeah, that'll be super interesting. So, like, final thoughts, I guess, before we wrap things up?
No, not really.
Yeah, like, these are some...
And by this point, everybody knows how much I already love the series.
Yeah, these are some, like, solid episodes. Like, this is getting some, like, interesting territory I, like, actually didn't expect. Like, I thought it's gonna be really fun to, like, you know, just get into, like, analyzing just the themes and ideas of this show as it goes on. Because, like, that's not something we've really had as much before in this, like, franchise, is it? Like, as far as what we've reviewed so far.
How do you feel in general about a lot of the series taking place in the real world?
It's not as much of a problem as I was kind of afraid it might be. Because, like, if people don't remember or whatever, like, that was a thing a while back where I said, like, you know, that, like, I do prefer when the Digimon adventures actually take place in the digital world. Because then you can do a lot more, like, you know, really creative, fun things and stuff like that. And this is, like, they've kept it visually engaging, you know, they've, like, kept, you know, moving the scenes around enough. And, like, there's still, like, excuses for them to have, like, you know, action scenes and stuff that aren't just, like, you know, just crazy, like, you know, whatever, just big set pieces or whatever. Like, they set up something where they kind of, like, reference called, like, a digital field, where it's, like, apparently when a Digimon emerges, it makes this weird, like, fog layer around it. And it's like, okay, yeah, like, people can't see in because, you know, they just make this, like, fog area people can't really pass through or something.
Yeah, and I watched a review from somebody who was, like, who didn't like that idea. They didn't like the fog wall thing, and it's like, oh, what if the Tamers had to figure out a way to obscure the fight and everything? And my thought was, well, that would get really tedious really fast.
Yeah, like, I feel like if they had to, like, find ways to, like, hide the action going on, then, you know, like, that would just get in the way of, like, all the character dynamics going on, all this, you know, good, like, storytelling with, like, these fight scenes. Like, it would ultimately just eat up time and not really serve much of a purpose, I think, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah, and how would these 3 kids hide a giant monster fight in the middle of the city anyways?
Yeah. Like, it's gonna get kind of ridiculous if it's like, oh yeah, we have, like, you know, like effing Growlmon just having a big kaiju battle in the middle of the street and no one can see because fog. But it's like, you know, like, that's the type of justification you kind of need to make this setting work, I think.
Yeah, it'd be crazy if something like that happened, huh?
Yeah. Because, yeah, like, I feel like this is, like, you know, maybe it's just me looking too deep into things, but this is kind of, like, weirdly, like, calling back to the Myosmon stuff, too, isn't it? Because, like, yeah, and he showed up, he just made the big fog barrier, and it was like, okay, yo, like, people just can't get through it because it's too thick and too confusing. And, you know, that was their big explanation for, like, you know, why all these crazy things are going down Odaiba while, like, the rest of the world doesn't notice.
Whole bunch of... yeah, fog and hypnotism and such.
Yeah. I feel like that's probably going to lead it... well, I don't know, maybe not directly, but probably indirectly lead into, like, why this weird government group's a thing. Because, like, you know, hey, if Digimon are just destroying people's houses, then, like, someone's gotta keep track of that, right?
By the way, I'll Google search it real quick to double check. But if you want to give the organization a name, I think it's called Hypnos.
Okay, yeah, that's easier to say.
Instead of, like, the strange organization.
Just the organization / the government / like the people in suits.
Yeah, it's Hypnos.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, it's named after a H.P. Lovecraft story.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah. Because, like, I know where the series goes eventually. Like, I feel like I'm kind of seeing bits of those elements of, like, you know, oh, the unknown, and, you know, like, these things being, like, outside of, like, you know, your control and stuff, right? It's like, as soon as Guilmon just blasts those rats, yo, it's like, yeah, this is something, like, outside of the power of these characters. Like, if, you know, like, say Gargamon just wanted to turn on the group, then there'd be no way to stop him.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like, just think about, like, what power level would these guys be at right now? Like, I'm trying to think, like, could Gargamon fight a tank and win? Specifically.
I don't know. Because, like, he's got gun arms, but they're still just bullets.
Yeah, like, I feel like he'd probably be like, yo, maybe Gargamon would be able to, like, eventually solo one tank, but, like, I don't think he'd be able to, like, you know, just cleanly destroy it or something. Like, I think it'd be, like, a battle, right? Like, they'd be pretty even, I believe.
It depends on Gargamon's physical strength, because the bullets wouldn't do anything to the tank, but I feel like Gargamon could crush a tank cannon.
Yeah, like, I'd believe he would, like, you know, like, just slam his gun arm against it, like, you know, make a dent or something, right?
Yeah. Weirdly enough, Gargamon's fight would be a whole lot less, shooting and more bludgeoning with his guns.
More bashing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, Ultimate and onward, sure, like, I'd believe that, like, Rapidmon could fight an army if it had to.
Oh yeah, Rapidmon's an old...
But yeah, like, I'd believe Gargamon could take out a helicopter, though, at least. Like, helicopter, yes,
Oh, yeah.
tank, maybe no.
Relatively speaking, the helicopter's flimsy.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Gargamon just kind of have to hit the blade, and that thing's down.
Yeah, fair. So it's somewhere between helicopter and tank level on the power scale. Just somewhere in that ballpark. And Guilmon's just straight up, it's like, Guilmon could just murder a dude, no problem. Just easily. But yeah, like, good episodes, like, promising introduction. Hopefully we'll see where this goes. So, like, any final thoughts or whatever, I guess? Sorry, what? Hello?
Oh.
Alright, sorry, couldn't hear you for a second.
That's weird. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say, really.
Alright, well, I guess I'll see you around then.
Yeah, later.
Later!